Previously on Ballistic Pursuit. More firsts for the crew, including retired fighter pilot Craig Haggard.
So when he hunted first out of the helicopter, had a great shot on a warthog, and it was just exciting.
And team leader, Lucid Optics founder and CEO Jason Wilson reflects on this adventure as it winds down.
Everybody's going home happy. These are experiences that I'm going to be hard-pressed to ever reproduce in any way, shape, or form. I had so many firsts. I've had so many firsts that this trip leaves a guy speechless.
But there's more to the story coming up on this season finale of Ballistic Pursuit.
Like I tell everyone, when you come to South Africa, just remember you have a home away from home.
And the Ballistic Pursuit crews certainly made themselves at home here in the Free State at Terra Wildlife.
It was nicer than I thought it would be. Again, South Africa. It was neat. It was the brick structures with the thatch roof it was just amazing. The laundry every day, they came in and they took your laundry, they hand wash your laundry and they hang it out to dry. It's very like back in the day for us, you know. It was, yeah. The lodge is beautiful. It was so beautiful. It's set up so nice. It's comfortable. You feel at home.
But this team of Americans didn't get too comfortable
Stop.
as they all stepped out of their comfort zones during this adventure.
I don't know why. I wasn't scared of the giraffes. It was an overwhelming experience going into South Africa and seeing these animals. You don't see these at home. It's like you got dropped off on another planet and everything has changed. And so I think curiosity overrode my fear of the giraffe. Now, if it would have been another animal, I might have freaked out a little more.
But they were in good hands with Terra co-owner Rainier Von Tonder at the wheel, an expert guide.
A little bit new to me. I haven't been on too many guided hunts where we had professional hunters with us that they knew the animals intimately. They knew almost by behavior where they were going to go, what they were going to do.
Great animal. Thank you so much.
Usually when I hunt in these states, I'm figuring all that out. I'm being the one doing all the travel, all the gear up, all the planning. Didn't have to worry about that when I went to South Africa. The PHs took care of it for us. Big difference.
And the amazing TLC shown by Eleanor Pretorius, also co-owner of Terra Wildlife.
They greeted us with a handshake and a smile and made us feel at home. They ushered us out to the small cabins, if you will. They were a brick building with a thatch roof, which it turns out that I am incredibly allergic to thatch. I ended up at the doctor's office while I was there. But Eleanor, she took care of that process for us. She noticed that I was a little bit under the weather. Me and Brandy both were very similar in time frame. And right after breakfast one morning, she gathered us up, took us in the town. She put us in front of her doctor. He saw us without any hassle, headache whatsoever. Recognized what our issue was. Just the hospitality. If you were in need, these folks are there for you. And that was unexpected. Any place I've been that had not been that level of care before.
Jason and the entire Ballistic Pursuit crew now part of the Pride, with friendships standing strong till today overseas.
I know these folks, I trust these folks. It was an easy trip that way. But meeting new folks at the Terra Lodge and finding out that they're just like us, just on the other side of the world, made it even that much better of a trip because they made us feel at home.
Every little bit helps, especially in the wake of recent hardships felt worldwide. But the doors here are open wide.
Just to make your travels a little bit easier, I understand that American Airlines is adding a direct flight, so it makes it really easy to get down here, so don't delay.
Please help us wherever you can. Come and visit, try and see and experience what we do.
Coming up next on Ballistic Pursuit, a look back at the harvested animals on this trip and adventure of a lifetime and how these moments are forever frozen in time.
Lucid Optics presents Ballistic Pursuit, sponsored by Shaw Barrels, proven precision.
Send it. Center punched it.
And there are new additions to the family.
So I don't know about father in the traditional sense, but I have adopted a lion. The folks at Terra Lodge, through doing what they do with the wildlife conservation side and the lion sanctuary, they were presented with 4 orphaned cubs. And so folks from the trip, Matt Shawless, he has sponsored and adopted a lion. Brandy has adopted a lion, and I couldn't let them be the only one, so I too adopted a lion. So kind of a neat thing, though, to say that you own a lion, and I do. But I truly trust Madeline to take care of these lions in the best possible manner.
After nearly a week here at Terra Wildlife in South Africa's Free State, the Ballistic Pursuit crew managed to achieve the exotic animals they had hoped to harvest, nearly 30 in all. Among them, Craig Haggard's majestic eland on the ground and a waterbuck from above.
You know, Africa's beautiful, but when you get up there and you can just see everything from the distance, the plains, and every animals that I hadn't seen. I mean, today we saw probably, I don't know, 20, 30 species of animals. We could even see a porcupine, which are very large down here from the air. And so that alone was just awesome and exciting.
So when the animal's moving and you're a stationary shooter, you have to shoot before, like in front of it, in the direction that it's moving. When you are moving, so say the warthog is traveling slower, like say you're catching up to the warthog as it's running, you have to shoot behind it in order to hit your target. So like you have to aim towards the rear of the animal to hit towards the front of the animal, the heart, lungs, and where you want to hit. It's really difficult.
Back on the ground, CJ managed to take a wounded zebra out of its misery. And Matt Shawless, also with Shaw Barrels, managed to harvest a warthog and an ostrich, which was the centerpiece of the team's Last Supper here in the Free State.
They took the game and they took parts of it. I think my favorite, the most unique one, was the ostrich in some sort of marinade with the cloves and the bacon and stuff they stuffed in there, and they cooked it. And I don't know about you, but I expected it to taste like chicken. And it didn't. It's a red meat. It was different. But not all birds taste like chicken.
The ostrich was not my favorite. The springbuck carpaccio. Probably because I chased that little joker all over for so long. But that springbuck carpaccio was probably the greatest thing I have ever put in my mouth.
Blessings unfolded also for Josh Tennyson, who managed a kudu.
I've been waiting 6 years for that.
And black springbuck.
That thing is so fast, though. It's shooting 31, it's over 3,100.
Speaking of springbucks, Jim Gilliland finally managed to catch up with his elusive springbuck while also harvesting a blushbuck, a gemsbuck, leshwee, and golden wildebeest, shattering a long-range record at Terra at nearly 700 yards away.
He did make a record there at Terra. We were fortunate enough to have that opportunity of the golden wildebeest, and he made a very long shot on that. Ethics, that shot was perfect. The environment was right, the situation was right, everything was set up to be a long shot. And we took our time and were careful with it, nothing was rushed. But that's Jim, that's how he does things. And even if you had to rush him a little bit, he'd still be amazing at it. That's just the way he is. You get a fantastic shot, which came with some extra accolades and honors for Jim because he got to sign the Bucky as the 2021 record.
That's nice. Beautiful.
Fantastic honor.
Jason Wilson didn't go home empty-handed either. He and fellow Lucid Optics team member Brandy Crotto both managed an Impala. But it was Brandy's reaction and reverence for her Impala that left the most lasting impression on Jason, who taught her how to hunt later in life.
The overwhelming side of it, after we were able to drive up to it, that's when you saw that reverence for the animal show. It was a big deal. There was a lot of things that happened all at once, really, really fast. And it was an emotional moment.
Straight ahead on Ballistic Pursuit, the grand finale. Jason finally gets his golden opportunity with a golden wildebeest on the last day of the trip.
Sponsored by Federal Ammunition, Every Shot Counts, and Shadow 6 Consulting. Perfect your craft.
Any hunt, any range. Go farther with Federal Premium Terminal Ascent. Match accuracy at extreme range. Bonded construction for deep, straight line penetration. Consistent expansion where other bullets fail. It all comes together in the best hunting rifle round ever made, period. Federal Premium Terminal Ascent. No limits.
While his shot was not as long range as Jim's record-breaking shot a few days prior, his golden wildebeest was bigger, but most important of all was the shot Jason decided not to take and why.
Golden brown color against the yellow. That's the only way you can see him.
And the goal was to take the golden at 700 or 710, whatever it meant to break Jim's record. But the morning we got up to do that, the winds were not going to comply. They were heavy and they were swirling. It was just a really bad idea to maintain that mindset and make a long shot that quite possibly was going to be very unethical. So we chose to take a shorter shot, but shoot a bigger one than Jim's. Just shy of 300 yards. We reached out and managed one of the most iconic African animals, in my opinion, in the wildebeest. And then it's a rare coloring. It's a golden, which are stunning. And the one that I took had a lot more striping, huge eyelashes and big beard. And
above all, clean shots, plenty of respect to go around, and good sportsmanship among this team of Americans. And of course, gratitude for the food provided and shared with others. All fond memories forever memorialized thanks to the exquisite craftsmanship of Highveld Taxidermy, part of the Crown Safari Group.
Highveld Taxidermy, world-class outfit. When we ended the hunt, we went and sat with the taxidermist folks, and we got to decide how our mounts were being done and put together. And very detailed, very professional. We got a tour of the facility, which was kind of jaw-droppingly awe-inspiring from an operations standpoint. They do everything from start to finish at Highveld Taxidermy. They make their own molds. They tan their own hides. They have artisans that will recreate pieces and parts if they need to. The attention to detail and craftsmanship on that facility was amazing. And then when you consider they employed 300 people in Johannesburg, that's a pretty big operation.
We're not just taxidermists in the old sense of the word, where you basically stuff an animal, you put it looking very straight and boring on the wall. You know, we do different things, like we have our own electroplating plant, for instance, where we electroplate the skulls in antique copper or antique nickel. We do our own furniture. We custom carve Zulu shields, so it's hand-carved Zulu shields behind the animal. So it actually becomes a decor item, and not just a memory, but you know, it's part of the furnishing of your house. So it's not just a room as in the traditional sense of a hunting room where it's just shoulder mounts on the wall and they all look the same. You walk in and, you know, fine, that's all that you shot. This is actually furniture. It's each piece is custom. So we concentrate more on that. So my dad and I love projects where we actually do something completely new. So that's for us is the greatest. No, I never say no. Either we learn and we say, okay, this is going to be great, and we make a mold and we make it a thing, like the Zulu shields. It was a client of mine's idea. So he came by and he said, listen, I'd actually like a Zulu shield, and I know that you can't export the Zulu hides because that's just a cured hide, so that would be not legal to export. So he says, can you carve that out of wood? So, okay, well, let's try. And then we custom forged the spears. I've got a little forge there now. We hammer out the spears. We make them look nice and rustic. And there was one of our best ideas. So.
The level of diversity in what they were able to do at that facility was incredible. When we left, we were under the understanding that I was going to see an 8-month, a 10-month wait before they would be ready to work out shipping, right? Well, last week I got an email, and all my trophies from the hunt are done. They're ready. And I've been getting updates. They make a website and send you pictures with dates, and so weekly I've been getting an update showing them the progress of it. So I'm not stuck wondering where that stuff is or how it's going. Not only was it an incredible value for cost, it was about a third of what I would have paid for taxidermy of the same scale in the U.S. It was 5 times as fast as anything I've ever experienced with taxidermy. I'm still kind of in shock at how economical it was and how fast that they were able to accomplish what they accomplished.
One of the neatest things I think that they did for all of us or whatever, or anybody that does any taxidermy there, is you get assigned, all of your animals get assigned a number that's specific to you, and anytime they touch your animal, for whatever reason, they photograph it and then they give you a specific code on their website, and you refresh it, and every time that they take a picture or the next process starts, then they show you that animal.
Straight ahead on Ballistic Pursuit, keeping it all in the family, or maybe not. We'll take you behind the scenes and show you some clips some of the team had hoped wouldn't make the final cut. Bloopers sure to bring a smile to your face and maybe even a good belly laugh.
Sponsored by Crown Safari Group and Tacticam. Share your hunt.
The Houston Safari Club is for anyone who likes to hunt.
It's for the love of the outdoors.
It's to give all of us as individuals a voice.
Ever wanted to hunt whatever, wherever in the world, somebody in the club has done it and can point you in the right direction.
We have met some of our very close friends through Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
I love the Houston Safari Club.
Join the Houston Safari Club Foundation.
And it took a little work getting Jim's official name for this production.
Please tell me your name, sir, and spell it.
My name is Archibald Barisal, just whatever. I was born and raised James. Everybody always called me James. So then in the snipers, they called me Jim, and then like through the military.
What does Melissa call you?
Both. And other things that we can't say on camera.
Now, does your wife have any pet names for you?
But food is no laughing matter to Jim. In fact, it seems to somehow always be on Jim's mind.
And speaking of eating, that smile. Speaking of eating.
Look, you can call me whatever you want to, just don't call me late for dinner. That pissed me off.
Craig, I think he's challenging you.
So you're asking me about Jim Gilliland?
Yes.
Okay.
Talk for him because
So,
he won't do it.
James Gilliland, I get to call him Jim, as he's a friend of mine. An incredible special individual. He's a colossal pain in the ass most of the time. He's incredibly funny.
The little thing we keep. No. That was, but I remember that. Hey, this something buck.
The Gims buck?
Not the Gims buck. The little one. Hey, what's the little guy we keep looking for that runs away from us? Not bush buck. Not a diker. What is it?
Stimbuck?
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 I'm sorry, I don't know what's been running away from you. I've been on the back. What are those small ones?
Yeah,
Stimbuck?
It's
Brunier?
that. What's that on the wall over there?
The springbuck.
Springbuck. That's it.
Good. Spring's a little bit bigger.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Size is everything.
Come on.
Well, these little son of are ghosts, is what they are.
Size is everything.
Yeah, right? All right. Springbuck. Yeah, that's what.
We're eating the springbuck.
Right.
Great.
I couldn't remember the name of the thing that keeps running away from us.
Seriously?
It's been a long day, Ranieri. It's been a long day.
All the little buck.
He's gonna be dead tomorrow. That's what he's gonna be. We'll call him dinner.
And retired Army sniper Jim Gilliland proved not to be the only pain in the and beyond on this trip. Josh Tennyson shared his expertise in international zoological dialects.
Where does that sound?
Cows.
Oh, it's just cows?
You should know what cows
I
sound
know,
like.
but I was about to say that don't sound like the cows that I'm used to, the cow I'm used to.
They got an African accent.
Oh, is that it? Kind of like our Mississippi moo cows? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
All joking aside, there are plenty of takeaways from this trip as we wrap this season of Ballistic Pursuit. The team weighs in on what impacted them most and the lessons learned on this leg of the journey we call life.
It was such an amazing trip. We stayed in contact with the guides and the landowners. They've become really good friends of ours. It's just every once in a while I think back and I think about some little something that happened there, some little something we did or something we ate, and it's those little, reminiscing memories that keeps coming back that it really makes you want to go back. It makes you want to be a part of that world again.
And valuable takeaways, no matter what your playing field in this thing called life. Reconnect with your inner child, the one who believes anything is possible. Keep those dreams alive. Share them with those around you. Everyone needs their own pride.
You do experience that climb in knowledge and in life experiences and lessons learned, humility, just all those things. And I don't think that we'll ever stop learning something. I think that I don't think there's anybody that can't learn something new or have new experiences or learn lessons from different things. And so I think we're always on that climb.
Wake up with the courage and roar of a lion. Issue the clarion call.
That's true, the roaring of lions every morning and every night. And believe me, I've been raised with this, and you never get tired of it. It's magical. You can't explain it to people. The trembling, if you're next to a lion, it feels like that roar completely consumes you, goes through you.
And remember, every new beginning starts with some other beginning's end. It's the cycle of life.
Seriously, we are a family, and when people come here, they come here as strangers, but they leave here as friends and family, seriously. And everyone's welcome. Always. This is home away from home.
So, regardless of where you are, don't stop pursuing your dreams, hoping, climbing, reaching, aiming high, because our life here on Earth truly is a journey and not a destination.
Closed captioning brought to you by Houston Safari Club Foundation. We hunt, we give.
This is my African hunting face. If you look up close, I have war paint on. And my handy guide here, our hunting guide, didn't even tell me that I look like a warmonger, or I don't know. Why didn't you tell me that I had all this on my face?
I don't think it mattered. I don't think the animals.
I don't know, those warthogs got pretty darn close. Do you think it was they saw my war paint and said she wants to fight? Well, you know what? I have to tell you, I'm really glad you didn't tell me in that case. This is why you should come to Africa.